Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So there's a lot of really solid prospects in this upcoming draft class, but we know this, right? We understand the talent level from some of these players that are entering the league. Guys with high floors, high ceilings, culture fits, system fits. I mean, some of these players truly have the potential to be superstars at the next level. Think of Justin Jefferson from the Vikings, Penei Sewell from the Lions, Rashawn Slater of the Chargers, Jamar Chase from the Bengals, right? These guys are coming in the league and are just lighting it up from day one, and it's so much fun to watch, and it gets Jets fans excited because not only do we just have a top 5 pick at spot number 4, but we also pick again at spot number 10. I mean, we have a real opportunity here to draft a couple of cornerstones, guys that could be here for the next 10 seasons. That is not an over-exaggeration. That is a realistic thing. I am hoping for that to happen. Now, it's a big opportunity here. It cannot be squandered. There are tons of players that I feel like would come in and do a great job, but one player specifically keeps on rising up boards. Now, I'm not going to make it out like, he was some 3rd round, 4th round pick before, or last month or something like that. No, he's been highly thought of for a long time. And the Jets have been showing some heavy interest in Gardner really since the pre-draft process has kicked off, but it's really been picking up over these last few days, right? The Jets met with him at his pro day, right? Not only did we just attend, but we met with him there, and then of course we immediately set up a meeting afterwards for a top 30 visit, right? So I think the interest level is real here. Of course, the Jets are going to be doing their due diligence, and we're going to be, interviewing and making sure that we bring in the right guy, but it really seems like Ahmad Gardner to the Jets has been picking up a lot of steam over these past couple days, these past few weeks, whether that's at pick number 4 or pick number 10. We've seen mock drafts with him going at both different spots. I gotta be honest, I think if the Jets want to secure Gardner, he might have to go at 4. It all depends on what the Giants are doing with James Bradberry. Obviously, they're picking twice in the top 10 as well, so that's something to watch. The Atlanta Falcons desperately need help at corner, opposite of AJ Terrell. And of course, the Seattle Seahawks need a replacement for DJ Reed. So when we take a look at Ahmad Gardner back at Cincinnati, and I'm going to throw out the stat that everybody knows, he hasn't allowed a single touchdown pass in his entire collegiate career. But when we dive into the numbers, that's over 1,000 snaps. Over 1,000 defensive snaps. That is crazy. When we take a look at his numbers this past season, not only did he just have multiple interceptions at 3, but he only allowed 13 catches for 117 receiving yards, no touchdowns. That is elite. 117 receiving yards. There's some cornerbacks out there that give that up in a game, let alone a season. Ahmad Gardner, you look at the size, you look at the explosion, you look at the potential, you look at the system fit. You look at the length, right? That's another thing. 4.41 40 time as well at the combine. These numbers they're almost unbelievable here. Okay, so he has that confidence about him. He has that moxie of a cornerback 1. Think of a Jalen Ramsey, not so much the diva side of it, because there has been some scuffles with Jalen Ramsey, right, with teammates and everything like that. And you talk to Jags fans and ask their thoughts about Jalen Ramsey. It's not really the best response all the time. That's not really how I'm comparing Gardner to Ramsey, but it's just Ramsey's not afraid. He is not backing down from DeAndre Hopkins. He is not backing down from anybody. Right? Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, thinking of guys in the NFC West here. I mean, he's not doing it. He wasn't doing it back in Florida State. He didn't do it back in Jacksonville. Sauce Gardner's the same way. Okay, I think he's going to bring that edge to the Jets defense if he's in fact the pick at either spot number 4 or 10. Now, I do want to throw this in there as well, or really, I'll save that to the end, right? It's just posing a question about what what the plan should be with one of the guys on the roster. But going back to Gardner here, 6'3", 190 pounds, the ball skills, the production in man coverage, zone coverage, the defensive IQ, the ability to get better with time, right? The ceiling is tremendously high with Ahmad Gardner. It seems like the more you put on his plate, the better he gets, or the better he performs in that given game. The more he rises to the occasion. He doesn't shy away from the big moment. Not at all. Not at all. Reading a quarterback's eyes, the ability to jump a route. I mean, he was doing these things at such a young age as a true freshman back at Cincinnati. right? I mean, consensus All-American this past season. That is not some minor accolade that could just be, oh, just shrugged off. That is a big deal here. Unanimous Defensive Player of the Year in the AAC. It makes a lot of sense to go after Ahmad Gardner, especially because we lack that true cornerback one. Although I really like DJ Reed, I think he's going to do a lot of really solid things for this Jets defense. But Ahmad Gardner does make sense. Now, I will say this. My personal preference, I am not the, like, to draft a corner in the top 5, he has to be locked down. I mean, he has to be, you know, like, you have got to be sure that he's going to not only just come in and produce, but he is going to be a staple within the defense for years and years and years. He is not, I don't want another Jamal Adams situation where we're trading him away. I don't want another Sam Darnold situation where we're trading him away. I am not selecting a cornerback unless I feel 100% comfortable in his abilities moving forward. I mean, it's just one of those positions where you don't want a Jeff Okudah situation. And of course, you know, we can rattle off different, I mean, I don't want to say failures here, but, you know, different picks and players that haven't worked out at every single position: quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, edge rusher. I mean, that's just, you know, the name of the game. It's just the NFL draft. That's not a perfect science. But I mean, I look at cornerback right now. We have 2 solid options on the outside right now in Bryce Hall and DJ Reed. So if we take Ahmad Gardner, we have got to be sure that he's going to be coming in, not only just coming in and putting up better production than both of those guys, but, you know, again, for years to come. No falling off, not up and down, none of that, okay? Because it's a big, big investment. Is Gardner a perfect player? No. I mean, he has been flagged a lot for holding, for pass interference. He doesn't really take the best routes to the ball carrier at all times, so there's definitely some stuff to work on here. But, I mean, he is still considered, widely considered, as a top 10 prospect. Now, let's just entertain the idea of the Jets drafting Ahmad Gardner here. What do we do with Bryce Hall? Do we keep him on the roster for a depth type of player? Do we try to trade him? Do we try to move him on draft day? Who knows what'll happen? Because I believe Bryce Hall could play in this league. I really, really do. I'm not interested in Ahmad Gardner. I'm not interested in McDuffie and Stingley and you know, all these different corners because I don't think Bryce Hall is any good. I just want to be the best defense possible, right? I want to put out the best available talent. And if we have an opportunity to do that with Ahmad Gardner early in the NFL draft, then, you know, it begs the question, what's Bryce Hall's future looking like in New York? At the end of the day, he is not being paid much. He is still on a rookie deal, and he was a 5th round pick a couple years ago, right back in 2020. So if a team wants to maybe pull out, you know, if the Jets put him on, I don't want to say the trade block, but if they start fielding some calls, because obviously if Gardner's the pick early in the draft, you know, teams around the NFL, they know other teams' personnel, they're going to start calling. And Bryce Hall, maybe he could be on the move, but I think if I was Joe Douglas, I might opt to keep Bryce Hall, because this team has just been hit so hard with the injury bug year after year after year. But either way, I would understand it, right? Keeping Bryce Hall, awesome. Trading away Bryce Hall for another draft pick or something like that, I get it. I understand it. But I think to kind of sum this whole thing up, for me, I'm really sold on Kayvon Thibodeaux. I really feel like the edge position in this style of defense is the most important position for this scheme. And we're pretty thin there, right? We're pretty thin. Again, I feel comfortable with our cornerbacks right now. I don't necessarily feel awesome, completely comfortable, completely satisfied with the edge position right now. I'm happy Lawson's coming back. I'm excited to see what Martin can do in this style of defense. More of a system fit. He does still have some potential and a big time motor, which I like. And you know, Saleh has raved about him and everything like that, which is cool. But I just don't. I feel like I feel like it's thinner than cornerback right now. Okay, so I really want to make a move there. Again, whether that's maybe a Jermaine Johnson at 10, who knows how the Jets will go about it. But I think at the end of the day, if Ahmad Gardner is the pick, and the Jets organization, the front office, the ownership, the coaching staff are all on board with this guy being a potential number 1 corner, a future number 1 corner, not necessarily saying he has to be Darrelle Revis, but, you know, a Jalen Ramsey, a Stephon Gilmore type of guy. If they feel that way, and they don't have any doubts, then I'm okay with the pick. That's just my take. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Is Ahmad Gardner to the Jets a real possibility? I think so. I think it is. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.